the brand new Netflix original film that just hit the streaming service. The film's directed by longtime comedy director Tim Story, who's directed films with star Kevin Hart in films like the Ride Along movies and the Think Like a Man films. The film stars Kevin Hart as Joe, a 40-year-old ad executive who is struggling at his job of promoting this particular liquor because he is unable to connect with his advertisements to the younger demographic. He's too old. His brain, I guess, is working too old. His ads are not connecting with the younger generation. So he is given 72 hours to save his job and create an ad that will bring in younger audiences. But on that day, when he finds out he has 72 hours, he is mistakenly put in a group chat with four 20-something olds who are going on a bachelor party in Miami. And he sees this as an opportunity to learn about the younger generation, get intel on how to make his ad better. It is a bachelor party for Mason, who in this movie is getting married, played by Mason Gooding, as well as all of his three other close friends, Marcelo Hernandez as Nick, Cam Patterson as freshman, and Ben Marshall as Hunter. Joe, played by Kevin Hart, joins them on their bachelor party, and things can get out of control very quickly. Also in the film is Zach Cherry, Joe's co-worker, trying to help him save his job. Michael Mando plays Jace, someone who's trying to go after him for a mysterious reason. And Tiana Taylor is also in the film as Jennifer, Joe's girlfriend, who's on the brink of moving out because it seems like Joe is more prioritizing his job more than his relationship. The film's an hour and 45 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Inner. We're talking 72 hours. And I saw the trailer for this movie, was not very excited. I grew up a massive, I mean massive Kevin Hart fan. Obviously, all of his stand-up movies in theaters. I would never miss a Kevin Hart movie from like age 11 to like 15, 16. Like all of them, I would just go to the theater and see. I just grew up loving a lot of his comedy movies. But over the last decade, I have not liked maybe like 90 to 95% of his films. I just think that there's been a steep decline in his quality of films over the last decade. So I don't really get that excited for this anymore, especially because three of the four friends in this group are SNL cast members. And I didn't want to be like, is this is like an SNL spoof movie? That's what I was nervous about. And my nervousness came true because, like other Kevin Hart films over the last decade, this one is not particularly a good movie. Now, Tim Story is a more than qualified director for comedy. I actually like both Think Like a Man movies. I have fun enough with the first Ride Along. The second Ride Along is pretty bad. But his most recent films, Tim Story, are not very good. The Pickup, didn't really like that. The Tom and Jerry movie was really bad. So Tim Story has some highs. He also has some very low lows in his filmography. And yes, this is a pretty slick made comedy movie. It's well made. Like you can actually tell it's a more than competent director behind the scenes. Like this is just not a throwaway, feels like a VOD, even below a Netflix streaming movie. Like it feels competently made. We're in Miami. I think Mason Gooding is the only cast member I thought who actually was very good in this movie. He has very easy charisma that he's brought to a lot of his other films, and I just like Mason Gooding a lot. I think he's someone who needs to pick his projects smartly over the next decade because I think he could be a potential star in the making. But he's easily the best part of this movie. He's also the most relatable character in this movie because he is getting married and his friend group are very immature. They're not really, they're not in a position to even be close to getting married. So he sees himself as more as an adult going through a lot more real issues. And he doesn't really feel like he can connect to his friends, but he actually feels like he can connect to this stranger who's 40 years old. I actually found that to be easily the most interesting storyline in the movie. Was a Mason Gooding's character connecting to Kevin Hart's character over being adults, being nervous about being an adult, and things of that nature. That was like the only storyline I gave a crap about during this movie. Gooding's very good. He's really underused, a part of this large ensemble of SNL cast members. He's way more underused than I was expecting going in. There definitely are some cheap laughs. Like I laughed like 2 to 3 times during this movie, not really a lot of times. And that's as much as the positives I can go into. I think this is a very bad movie that The editing, especially in the first 15 minutes, really pissed me off. This movie feels like it's on 10 times the speed. It's just zoom, 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 zoom. The editing is insane in this movie. And I don't just mean for like little action scenes or like club scenes. I mean like people sitting down and talking. It feels like I'm watching it like 2 to 3 times the actual speed. I actually had to check my Netflix account to make sure the movie was on regular speed. That is how much the editing was annoying me during this movie. And that usually never happens to me. But I think a big problem here is this movie just isn't funny. Yes, I laughed maybe 2, 3 times during the movie, but it is not funny and extremely lazy because the concept of the movie is Kevin Hart's character is over 40 years old. He's not hip. He doesn't know the new slang catchphrases of my age demographic. He doesn't know what my generation likes, doesn't like. So you have a lot of old people jokes, you have a lot of young people jokes, and just easy like layup jokes that just are not funny and are extremely lazy. And I gotta be honest, are just really dated. We see a lot of films these days attack a lot of different generations for a lot of different reasons, and I don't mind that. Like I'm not offended because this movie went after my generation. Not at all. You could be really creative on how you attack each generation, what they do, what they don't do. I am all for it, especially in a movie like this where Kevin Hart's playing the old father figure to these bunch of bachelors here in this film. Totally makes sense. Just be creative with the jokes. And this movie is just not very creative. Like Kevin Hart tries to dab to fit in. Like that's the level of humor that this movie is going for. The plot line in revolving around a Miami drug lord is absolutely awful in this movie and does not need to be in this movie. I mean, whatsoever. It feels like it's in a totally different film, this Miami drug lord subplot. I didn't find any of the other friends that Mason has are that funny whatsoever. And I love Ben Marshall and Please Don't Destroy, but the three SNL guys, just none of them stood out to me in a meaningful way. The Tiana Taylor stuff, she was completely wasted. And again, another character who probably didn't need to really be in this movie at all. But she's in the movie. She's good, but she's just completely wasted in a film like this. And for me, it's an hour and 45 minutes. This movie really drags, especially in the back half of the movie. It just feels like a never-ending bit of 15 to 20-minute SNL sketches instead of a complete film. So this movie's a mess to me. I like Mason Gooding a lot. I like Tim Story, the filmmaker. It's a fun enough concept to get me interested, but the movie was not funny, boring. The editing was annoying me, and just none of the major cast members outside of Gooding really stood out. And I was checking my watch a lot more for an hour 45 movie than I was expecting. So overall, I'm giving 72 hours on Netflix a 1 out of 5 stars. I am going 16% for 72 hours. What are you guys' thoughts on this Netflix original film? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to Max Talks Movies, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.